I'm a bit late to the party, but last week the Penguin finished up its series with its finale. My mind is kind of blown after just watching it, so here are my thoughts on the Penguin. Hi, my name is Nathan, and I talk about a lot of movies on this channel. If you're new here, down below in the comment section, share what you thought of this absolutely amazing TV show, The Penguin. Over on my channel, I have more content like this. Check those out once this video is over. If you enjoyed this video, click the like button, and be sure to subscribe because that really does help a lot. With all that said, this was a show that I was very excited to see. A lot of varies in that sentence because this was probably my most anticipated TV show of the entire year. I didn't fully understand the Batman when it first came out, and now having grown older, I've grown to enjoy it a lot more, appreciate it a lot more, and I've really enjoyed Robert Pattinson as Batman. What I loved about that movie was the way it viewed Gotham as this dark, bleak world. So naturally, I was very interested in checking out what they would do with a Penguin spin-off TV show. Did it live up to my hype? And also that it released, another one that released the same week as my birthday. It released, the first episode dropped the day before my birthday did. So this was kind of a birthday present. And with that said, let's just get straight into it with the review. And the reason that I'm not splitting things up into good and bad is because I really don't think that there's anything bad to say about the Penguin, because I thoroughly enjoyed what they did with the Penguin. I'll just cut straight to the chase. This might be the best superhero show that I have seen in a while. You know, all the MCU Disney Plus shows, even the best of the bunch, which is Loki, which I actually really like what they did with Loki, doesn't even compare to the Penguin. And Peacemaker. The two DC TV shows that I've seen dropped on HBO Max are Peacemaker and The Penguin. Those two are much better than all the MCU Disney Plus shows. And it looks like DC is doing a great job of making TV shows, more so than Marvel is doing. This is not as much a superhero show as it is a crime thriller about the Penguin. And it doesn't rely on Batman, even though it's prominently set in Gotham. Doesn't have to rely on Batman at all. It's exploring the intricate drug Gotham underworld, the shady businesses that go on in the background. And that's what I thought really worked about the show, is that it focused in on that. Didn't have to rely on fan service or Batman related content. It didn't have to have a lot of those Batman fan service moments or any Batman fan service moments. It could just be a very good crime drama, and I think it is a really good crime drama where it sets up multiple different families, factions, their motives, their motivations, and it just does such a good job at doing that. And as many factions and families as there are, it never feels overstuffed. There's not the one plot line that slows things down, and it feels very simple to understand, even when having all these intricate layers to it. And so that's why that was just really cool about this one. And if you don't like Batman, I still think if you like gangster movies and gangster TV shows, even if you don't like Batman and watching superheroes, I still think you would enjoy The Penguin a good bit. And that's just what's so cool, is that it just works on its own terms. It would work even if it had nothing to do with DC, Gotham, or the Penguin. Hey, I'm just raving about the show. I'm absolutely blown away by what they were able to do with it. Colin Farrell as the Penguin absolutely knocks it out of the park. He delivers on every single front. He was a side character in the Batman. Here he's put front and center. But just talking about his performance, what they're able to do with Colin Farrell is unbelievably impressive to me. Where I've seen Colin Farrell in a lot of movies before, and if you had told me Colin Farrell was playing the Penguin, I probably wouldn't be able to see it. But what Colin Farrell was able to do with this performance, and just the makeup that they put on, the voice he uses, and just the way that he acts, you do not at all see Colin Farrell on the screen watching the Penguin. You see Oz Cobb, the Penguin himself, in this show. Just thought his performance is so good, so well done. I can't stop raving about this show enough. Like, my mind is still blown. But not even just the Penguin has a great performance. He's a great character in this show. In fact, not only is he a great character, all the characters are really kind of great. I could go into a super in-depth analysis of the characters right now if I wanted to, but I don't want to go stretch out this video for too long, even though I'm absolutely just glazing this show. But yeah, let's just start off with Oz. Let me just do a short analysis of Oz. He's a really evil character. And this show allows him to be an evil character. Something that most villain TV shows, like Agatha, which I still haven't even caught up on. I'm only at episode 3 of Agatha at the moment. And I haven't even caught up on that because... I'm getting sidetracked here. I'm doing this all in one take. Agatha, in its first 2 episodes, failed to particularly hook me on what the show is about. And so I didn't even watch the rest of the show. However, I might be doing that against my own will very soon. But the Penguin immediately hooked me by the first episode, made me want to watch the second episode, and each episode kept getting better up until the finale, which the finale absolutely blew my mind away. Like, I cannot stop glazing about it. And so I just thought this was a very, very well done TV show in general. But back to the character analysis, back to Oz. He's a guy that's really evil, but in the first half of the show, and even sometimes in the second half of the show, you can kind of root for him because you're following him around, because you've seen his character, what makes him tick, and all that stuff, and a little bit of his humanity when he meets Victor. You can kind of root for him, and this show with the Oz character does such a good job of having that back and forth with the audience without having to make it feel gross, unearned, and satisfying at the same time. It's a mix of both, but in just the right way, where sometimes you might be actually feel bad for Oz in certain scenes. You might actually start to root for Oz in certain scenes. But Oz himself, through his character and just how malicious he is, then he does something to remind you, this is an evil man. He's pure evil. There is no sympathizing with him, even though you kind of root for him. And you don't feel disgusted or anything. It's the perfect balance of that. Of course, another one of our main characters here is Sophia Falcone. And Sophia, another fantastic performance from Sophia. And she's presented in the first 3 episodes as sort of this kind of psycho. And you don't know much about her. But then when you get to the 4th episode, that's when the stuff with Sophia really sort of comes into motion. You're learning her tragic, dark backstory. And through that, it recontextualizes everything you heard about her in the first 3 episodes, but also puts her in a different light. And you're also just kind of rooting for Sophia as well, while knowing that she's also kind of evil, just like us. Not to the extent of Oz, but still, just kind of evil. So it does such a good job of portraying those characters. But let's not even talk about our evil characters. Let's just talk about Victor, our side character that Oz kind of takes in the first episode. It continues on in the entire season. And he's just a guy that is deeply broken by tragedy and is missing a family that is no longer there for him. And he's just a guy that's broken because of it. He's kind of lost. And when he's taken in by Oz, he finds somebody to actually talk to communicate to, and throughout the course of the show, cares about Oz. But Oz, being the evil man that he is, sweeps him into this to this world that he shouldn't be living in. This underworld of drugs, of gangsters, that is just bad for a kid his age. And he kind of manipulates Vic and influences Victor into doing horrible things. But although Vic does horrible things, it's never really lost that he's a good person at heart. And that's just what this show did so well, is that it didn't make the characters outright evil. They were supposed to be good, that are kind-hearted. They didn't make them outright evil. They went on that line just enough, did the right mix just enough. It was the perfect balance for these characters. And so I could go into all of the characters in the show, really, but I'll just leave that at that. This show did such a good job with the characters, and as it escalates, as it gets better along, it never slows down. It keeps making you want to watch the next episode, all leading up to an absolutely horrifying, dark, depressing, gut-wrenching finale. Like I said, I can't stop glazing about the finale to this show. It absolutely, wow. Like, I'm still just thinking about it. Like, there's probably no better finale you could have come up with this show. It's not entirely a satisfying finale, but it is the correct finale to give a show like this. That just proves to the audience how malicious, how selfish, and how evil Oz truly is. And it can just kind of disgust you, but it's not gross and disgusting just for the shock value. It absolutely earned those moments. So, not going to spoil anything about what happens in the entire show or anything. I'm trying to keep this as spoiler-free as possible, but absolutely gut-wrenching finale, I will say. Blew my mind away. So, I have glazed about this show this entire video, and so, you know what? Overall, I'll give it an A. Highly recommend checking this out if you're a fan of Matt Reeves' The Batman. I do suggest watching Matt Reeves' The Batman before watching this show, but man, this is a great show, and even if you don't like Batman and you just like crime dramas, definitely check out The Penguin. So, those are my thoughts on The Penguin. Down below in the comment section, share what you thought of it over on my channel. There's more content like this. Check those out right now. Thank you guys so much for sticking around to the end, and I will see you in the next one.